Awaken Dusk, Joey from Philly. What's up, buddy? How are y'all? So we'll wait for everybody to start to trickle in this evening, and we'll get going on another live edition of Bartending Pro, making you a Bartending Pro. Of course, my name is Jason, and we do this live stream every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 o'clock California time in the United States of America. So, let me just test, make sure that's coming up. Cool. All right. Cheers, everybody. Tink. Miss Richardson, good to see you again, my dear. Lovely day in the neighborhood. Cool. So what's up with everybody? My name's Joey. How's everybody's week? Did anybody get a job? Anybody see any crazy shenanigans or just fun stories from life? What's happening out there in the world? Anything we need? Not that I know of. I'm so just consumed with school and whatnot. I know you guys are so sick of hearing that shit, but don't worry. We're like within month and a half. I'm done with school. So close. And then you guys won't have to hear about me talking about or making excuses about shit because of school ever again. I know you're excited. Shake in the house. Remember, Mr. Shake, the M Shake 3. He's my moderator. So he will pop in and answer questions from time to time. I'll try to get to them, and I will get to all of them. But if there's something pressing immediately, Shake will answer those questions. There's Noelle Smith. What's up? Taylor's in school, takes over your life. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, girl. That's what I'm saying. It takes over your life. And I try not to let it, but especially when you're like this close to the finish line, you don't want to fumble on the 1 yard line. But like I said, 6-7 weeks, I'm gonna have that ball over the line, and then I'm gonna have all that time that I didn't have to take care of you guys and do a lot more cool stuff. All the videos that I wanted to do, I'm gonna, my main goal coming right out of the gates after school is to have these live streams. He's gonna keep going, and then post an additional video, like my actual production videos, every single week. So I'll have 2 videos coming out. I'll have a new video and then a live stream. And then depending on my time, I'll ramp that up to try to do more. So that's cool. Other good thing is that I did my taxes this week, which was really exciting. I love doing taxes, and have realized that the basically the peanuts that I earn from that website has stayed fairly steady, kind of flatlined. It hasn't like really grown or anything, but the cost associated with running that site, specifically like my I guess what is that, what the hell is that? That's the part of the transacting side, because you have to have like a shopping cart and a processor and then one that connect. There's like 3 different pieces of the damn thing to get it from somebody buying something on your website until it actually goes in your bank. And every single one of those guys charges every time that a transaction goes through. And of course, all those guys have been, no, not hosting Shake. It's the like shopping cart stuff. The shopping cart, I'm so like fried. My brain doesn't work. But basically, the transaction processing the money part. All those guys, they all take their own little piece, and it's just been getting so ridiculous that basically I'm flatlining. So actually this year I paid to run my website, meaning I paid almost $500 to have that website up. So I'm gonna work on dismantling probably the paid part of it in some capacity. I'm gonna leave it up for now, but I'm gonna start pulling those things down so that I'm not paying to use them, and which means I won't be able to charge people, but I'm gonna try to. Anyway, so my point is that I'm gonna not be split on YouTube and my website and YouTube and my website, and really just try to focus on YouTube, because that's the only thing that's continuing to grow because of you guys, and because of my subtle increasing of views. You know, it may just from the little, again, it's not very much, but the little bit that I do earn from that is better than the website. So I'm just going to focus my time on you guys and on YouTube. So when I get done with school. Okay, cool. So anyway, yeah, shakes and nuts, like hosting, digital marketplace, all the above, website, and damn putting together shopping carts and transaction processors and all that kind of bullshit. So anyway, Lily James, good to see you back. I work all the time, not just bartending. Yeah, that's the struggle of life, right? We're always just like constantly working. Nobody ever, unless you like win the lottery or you create a business and sell it for $500 million, nobody ever just gets to like sit around and do what they want all the time, unfortunately. Unless you're really lucky in building a business or getting a job that allows you to do what you love. And unfortunately, that's very few of us. And I'm working on it, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. Lily James moving to Florida. Oh, man. Or North Carolina. What's going on with that, girl? Hopefully it's for good reasons. Hopefully that's for good reasons. And so anyway, that's what's going on with me. Nick Nack, what's up, girl? Good to see ya. Wanjo HM, am I saying that right? Wanjo? I hope so. I like that. Hi Jason, I'm not a bartender, but watching your videos. Cheers from Ecuador. That's rad. Good to see you, buddy. Hope the quality's good down there. I want to come explore your coastline for some waves. Awaken Dusk. Or, wait, what's your name, buddy? Sorry. Joey. Joey, thank you for what you're doing on YouTube. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. Igna Santag. Wait. Again, caveat, every time I murder names, I'm sorry. I try not to. Igna Santangelo. Santangelo. That's probably how you say that. Always watch your videos. Greetings from Argentina, another beautiful part of the world I would like to visit. I had a friend that lived down in Argentina. I don't remember what area he was in, but he was up in the mountains. He worked for a magazine, like a snowboard magazine, down there. I don't remember what the name of the magazine was, but it was an Argentinian magazine, and he always sent me stunning pictures of your beautiful country. Because in another life, long time ago, I used to be a pro snowboarder, so I still got a bunch of friends that are in that world. So, anyway, Desi Digital! Enjoying all the videos you make. Learning to become a bartender is way more easier to understand with all your videos, breaking it down. Good! That is my goal. And, like I said, I know that these kind of stay within a narrow band of questions, even though I have them open to anything. They tend to kind of stay within a narrow band. Once I get a little more time to start producing some of the other ones in the next, when I'm done in like a month and a half or whatever, it'll expand out and give you guys some even more cool stuff to learn about. Henry McLaurin got a night off from Slinging Drinks to watch here live in North Carolina. NC, I'm assuming that's North Carolina. Welcome from the East Coast. Got to be, what, 10 o'clock out there? 10, 11, right? We're 3 hours different. So you guys are at 10:15. I have a hair in my eyeball that won't go away. Fanger, what's up? Got done training. Wanted to say hello to the membership. It's freaking awesome. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, stoked. Thanks for being a loyal viewer. So what about you guys? What else is pressing on your mind to learn about the magical world of bartending? Minus beer and wine, what's your favorite type of alcohol, Noel? Ms. Smith wants to know. 10:15 in Philly. All right, cool. Tequila. I'm a tequila man. Tequila is my first love of hard alcohols, and that probably just stems from the fact that my first main bartending, my first and last or current, were Mexican themed joints. The first place I worked at was Mexican, and then the place that I currently work at is also Mexican. So over my time in those establishments, which adds up to over 3/4 of my total bartending experience, I've consumed a lot of tequila. So I like tequila. I've gotten acquired. It's I think like any alcohol, booze, wine, whatever. It's a slightly acquired taste. So I have I like tequila. That's probably my favorite. Or good bourbons. Or decent. Doesn't have to be like good. Like decent bourbon. Yeah. I love Zepp, but this is too loud of a song, so we're gonna skip this one. And then we just turned pin back, so let's go past that one again. Oh yeah, there we go, little Bob. Little swanky Bob Moses. So yeah, Noel. Tequila, followed by bourbon. Those are my top two, for sure. Mitchell Waltman. All right, I'm an aspiring bartender who would like to learn the trade to work through college. Rather than asking a question myself, what is the best question you would ask yourself in my situation? I think that would have to be, what type of bar do you want to work in? Wait. Let's see. What would I ask? I'm trying to think. What would I tell myself back when I got started? It's stuff that I say on here all the time. Don't freak out about the drinks. Bartending is not about the drinks. Of course, there's a skill and art to making drinks, and you need to learn the basics, the fundamentals of like pouring and pour counting and a couple of basic recipes. But don't stress about learning shitloads of recipes, because you don't need to know other than the basics, which I have a list. I got it here. Let me pull it up. Of the most common drinks that you need to know. So let me copy and paste this in here. So there you go, Mitchell. This is a list of basic drinks that you should know. And it's not very long, and it's not very hard. And you're going to have heard of most of these. And within knowing those, and the other part is just figuring out, where you want to be, what type of establishment you want to work in. And to answer that question, you should start with why you're becoming a bartender. So for you, it was school, and that was the original reason why I came to bartending. It kind of fell in my lap, sort of, but I was thinking about the service industry when it fell in my lap. Was the ability for me to work part-time and at night that could fit within my school schedule. So you need to find something that has a lot of flexibility, that doesn't keep you up too late. The places that are going to keep you up real late are like the super thumping nightclubs, which you're not going to be able to start in anyway. You could get a job as another position, like as a bouncer or a bar back would be optimal, which you can actually make pretty damn good money as a bar back at a really busy bar. But just remember that it's not about the drinks. It's just it's a social job that you're just facilitating a good time, generally, at most bars. And so work on your people skills over memorizing hundreds of drinks. You get that list down that I just posted up there, and you'll be pretty solid. Had bourbon, tequila tastes like. Oh man, I don't know. How do you even describe what tequila tastes like? That's a tough question. I have no idea. It tastes like a hard alcohol spirit distilled from the agave plant. So, oh man, I don't know. That would be tough to describe. I don't know how anybody could describe. The only thing you could sort of describe is that vodka tastes like rubbing alcohol, and bourbon tastes kind of like oaky, woody, but even then the alcohol itself is so like paint thinner. There you go, Shake. Good call, paint thinner. Yeah. So, and all right. Juanjo, let's talk tequila. What's the best way to drink it? Straight up or cocktail? What brand do you recommend since you don't seem to like Cuervo? I don't have a problem with Cuervo as a brand. They make some really good tequila. La Familia is a fantastic. Even their Tradicional is pretty good. But their bread and butter flagship Cuervo Gold is a crap um, tequila, just because it's like any other cheap tequila that's colored. That color doesn't come from aging process; it comes from additives. And Cuervo just has like the cheap Cuervo stuff. It just has a flavor that's like I don't like. I like tequila, and I don't like Cuervo. So for me, boutique. Let's see, like I like Don Julio makes some good stuff. I don't really like Patron. I feel like they've lost a lot of their quality. Smaller stuff, just boutique brands, like a Partita or oh man, there's so many that you can go into. So basically, I like a call brand. Hornitos. Like I drink a shitload of Hornitos, which is just the Hornitos Reposado. Because for what you get in terms of quality and taste and price, I drink a lot of that. Don Julio's 1942. Like if I'm getting a nice bottle, like that's 100 to 150 bucks, then that's kind of my go-to. Just because it's easy to get, or if I'm in Mexico, I'll grab just whatever random label quality stuff that they have at a good price while I'm down there. But I generally will drink it either in a margarita or which I make not with mix. I'll make my own mix, which is basically lime juice, lemon juice, and you can do mostly lime, a little lemon, and a little orange, so that it gives a little bit of sweetness. But it's like a fresh. It's not the mix. Like the mix out of a bottle is garbage and all high fructose corn syrup. Or if it's good tequila, like good sipping tequila, I'll put it over a little bit of ice and squeeze a lime on top of it, and that's it. Or not even the lime, just put it over the ice. If you have some good tequila. By the way, there's over 900 labels of tequila in the world, and there's only 9 manufacturers at last that I checked. So 9 manufacturers make 900 labels. So that's why a lot of the stuff that you're buying is just based purely on marketing. And that's why you don't need to be too overly picky, other than if it tastes good and you got a good deal, then good on you. Okay, you guys are slamming in some comments. Let me try to catch up here. Desi, have you ever had too many shots and the next day your stomach is in pain? I've had recently drinking Jack Daniels. Yeah, it's called a hangover. It, generally, if there's something else going on, then could be like a sort of an allergic reaction or something, Desi. So you got to be careful with that type of stuff. What are the top 5 requested mixed drinks for male and top 5 for female? Just depends on where you're at, Joey. That's impossible to answer. It depends on where you work. But a lot of that list that I put up already will go a long way to getting you there. Girls, vodka sodas, guys, beers, and shots of whiskey. And then it kind of overlaps. And within those recipes that I put up, it depends on like where you're at, Like if you're at a college bar, it's going to be a lot of like cheap beers, vodka sodas, shots of whatever is popular at the moment. Like straight shots, not necessarily shooters. But if you're at like a high-end cocktail bar, you're going to be making a lot of martinis. So it just depends on where you're at. Juwizzy 24100, is the grasshopper still popular? Not really. I don't think it ever was. It's one of those ones that's fun to make, and you'll see it randomly on menus, but it's not like one. I don't think I've ever had somebody come in and go like, "Give me a grasshopper." I don't think I've ever had that. Also, Tequila Daniels combo a couple days ago. Oh, Jesus. I think that's what Shake was saying no shit about. Mitchell Waltman. It's really good advice. You're welcome. Ken Conway. Just retired from the NYPD. Finally try to get my hand in bartending. Kind of excited about it, actually. Just need a slow place for now to learn my craft. Your video has been great. Awesome, Ken. Yeah. Think about, like, especially if you're a little bit more mature in your years. It doesn't mean that you can't get into the industry. It just means you have to be a little more strategic about where you start. And think about the place where the clientele matches your kind of age range, right? So, like, if you're a little bit older, like even me, now that I'm like past 40, going into a club, like a nightclub, is going to be more difficult than somewhere where, you know, if you're later in your years, that matches that type of stuff. Hotels are great. I don't know what you have around you. You probably have everything up in New York. Any type of a restaurant. Yeah, you just get creative with it. Hotels are probably a good one to start off with, and some restaurants. Not necessarily corporate, I wouldn't recommend. I always recommend to avoid corporate if you can, but just think about the place where you look like the majority of the locals, and that's where you're going to have your best opportunities. Polar Bear says tequila is manna from heaven. Desi, have you ever met bartender that never drank? Yeah. I've worked with a couple people that have never drank. Or it's more that they used to drink and now they don't drink because they just either see the everyday effects that it has on people. Like when you work in this industry, you see really problem alcoholics on a daily basis. You see the degrading effects that it has on their life. And so it's really easy to either fall in to becoming a raging alcoholic or to really be turned off by it. I've, over my last few years, have kind of really been not, you know, I try to step away from it, but I really realize that I don't prefer the company of really problematic alcoholics in my life as much as possible. So, coworker likes to sip hers like whiskey. Yeah, you can sip tequila straight. It's good. You know, 100% agave or blue agave. Most quality ones are made that way. Even decent low end. There's not many that are not. Most tequilas are all tequilas are made from agave or blue agave. It's just whether or not they're blended with water or something else. And that's where the 100% blue agave comes from what I understand. So, what do you think about EBS schools, Zach? I don't know who EBS schools are. If it's a bartending school, not my favorite. It's not necessary. If you can afford to do it because it's going to give you a comfort of practicing around other people, then great. Other than that, it's not going to offer you a whole lot more. It's not going to give you experience. You're not going to get preferential hiring, really. You'd be better off spending that time trying to network with owners and managers to try to get a spot at a place starting out. So, Fanger, do you believe in the stereotypes of different drunks from alcohol, like whiskey make you mean tequilas? Oh, yeah, definitely. So, every alcohol, because of what is used as the base to distill it from, has a slightly different high. And I don't think that there's like an absolute, like, whiskey will make you mean, tequila will make your clothes fall off. You know, there's a majority of truth to some people in some regards for some of that stuff, but everybody reacts to different alcohols in different ways, and that's why some people prefer whiskey, some people prefer tequila, some people prefer vodka. You know, we all have our personal preferences, and a lot of times we don't realize that that's driven by the way that our bodies react to that alcohol, either in a preferential or non-preferential way. So tequila makes your pants fall off. It happens. It happens a lot. Dion Sorrentino just watched Cocktail with Tom Cruise for the first time. Are you ever interested in flair bartending, or did you see it as just a novelty? It's just a novelty for the most part, because most places won't let you do it, because the managers and owners don't like glass flying around, and it's really slow, and it's something that you usually only see in places that are just crickets. It's not very busy. So I've never gotten into it. It's cool though. Like but it's just like a hobby. It's if you like juggling shit, you can learn how to juggle bottles. So nothing against it. Just nothing I was ever into. Ken Conway. What do we got here? For money, Gentleman Jack is fantastic. Yep, there you go, buddy. Right there. Right? No, that's single barrel. Never mind, just kidding. I've had Gentleman Jack before. This is a pretty good one too, though. Single barrel. Steve Funky Kelly, I have a question about becoming a bartender. Fire it off, buddy. Yeah. Shake says, honestly, all liquor can make your pants fall off. That is 100% true. Warm tequila will get you drunk more faster. I don't know about that one. I think it's like water. It's like the cold water theory, that if you drink cold water, it helps you lose more weight because your body has to heat it up before it can assimilate it. So there might be some truth to that. Your body absorbs it faster, but I don't know if it's going to make a whole lot of difference, because that goes into your body and that gets the same temperature as your body within seconds. So not sure. I'd have to see the hard research on that before I'd put my money on that one. Steve Funky Kelly. Oh, Stevie Funky Kelly. Stevie Funk Kelly. I'm an aspiring bartender, older female, also short, 4'8", to wear dark wrap around glasses. That's cool. Nothing wrong with your own personal style. Own that shit. But like I was telling my man, who was that, Ken? Yeah, like I was telling my man Ken Conway earlier, when you're more mature in your years, you need to look for the places where your kind of style and age is closely matched to the locals as best you can. So someone in their 50s and 60s is going to have a hard time getting hired in the banging, clubs where all the 20-year-olds go party. And likewise, if you're a bartender in your 20s, you're going to have a hard time competing against someone who is a little bit older in, say, like a hotel bar where the locals are more in that same age category. So not always cut and dried on those rules, but can be a good place to help you think about where to start. I'm older, 38 years old. Start as a bartender, architect, deciding to do other things. Diego Sans? Sorry, Diego, I'm screwing up your name there. Sans? 38 is not old, my man. Not even close. So you're still within the window of not really worrying about anything at that point. Lady Stepansky. Hey, all from Houston, Texas. You graduated from bartending school just today. Any pointers on how to transition into a live bar environment and earn respect from other bartenders? Get a job. You got to get a job first before you got to worry about that. So your main concern is getting a job. And as much as that may have helped you at some establishments, you're still probably going to be looking at starting in other positions and moving up. But if you do get in there as a bartender right away, pointers on how to transition to a live bar. It's just one of those things that as much as you practice at home or at a school or with your friends, there's nothing there. There's still training wheels, and there's nothing that equals taking the training wheels off other than taking the training wheels off. Now, you'll have a shorter learning curve, and you should have confidence that you've done basically what you're going to do. But there's still going to be butterflies and nerves, and it's just realizing that it's just being a people person, and you're just talking to people. You're just pouring drinks and chit-chatting with them about it. And that's the earning respect from other bartenders is show up and do your job, be positive, and help in other capacities. If somebody, if the busboy drops a big bus tub full of plates and shit goes everywhere. If you're standing there doing nothing, help that guy. So showing up, being reliable, helping, and covering shifts, you know, like if somebody goes out of town, just generally be a good person, positive, good person, and help other people out, and you'll do really well. Miss Stepansky. Wild turkey rare. Wait, what are you guys talking about up here? Wild turkey rare breed over Gentleman Jack. Ah, whiskeys. Some whiskey debates. I like it. Yes, and congratulations on your graduations there, Miss Stepansky. Carbonated drinking can get you drunk faster too. I don't know, maybe it could be. That's another good one that I'd like to see the research on. Wanjo, just remembered a question I had. Every time you see a drink recipe and talk about 1 part, 2 parts, do they mean 1 ounce, 2 ounces? No, so that's actually like the missus is telling me that she made dinner. So great. So 1 part, 2 part. That's like literally. So if I had, let's see. So if I had a glass, right, and you broke it into 3 equal parts of what's in the glass. So you can think of like a third, a third, a third. You know, if you had 3 different things and they all said 1 part this, 1 part that, 1 part that, that means you have equal parts. So if you had 2 parts something and 1 part something else, that means it would be 2/3 this and 1/3 that. It's kind of an old school measuring technique, and it's an inaccurate way, so that's why it's kind of gone away. But that's basically what that means. Does that make sense? So if you had 2 ingredients and it said 1 part, so like a rum and coke, right? Not saying necessarily that rum and coke are equal parts, but if you had a rum and coke, old school rum and coke, or let's say Cuba Libre, and it was 1 part rum, 1 part coke. That just means that's everything in the drink, right? And if it was some other random drink that was a rum and coke and orange juice that was equal parts, it would say 1 part rum, 1 part coke, 1 part orange juice. Does that make sense? So it's basically you have to do the extra work of figuring out how many parts are in that, and then doing the math in your head, and it's making it sound more complicated than it is. But I like this song. Let's turn it up a little bit. So yeah, there you go, Wanjo. I hope that answers that question. Kind of. Okay, try to help that. Thanks. Cool, Polar Bear. Lady Step. House of Blues or Pete's Piano Bar or a bar on Main Street in downtown Houston. Great places to learn the craft fast. Yeah, and if you could get into those places, those are good. I mean, I don't know about Main Street Bar downtown Houston, but like House of Blues, that is, at least in San Diego, that's like one of the best establishments you can work at. Because those places pump all the time, especially if you're working in the music venues, because they're always busy. There's a shitload of people there all the time, and you are making cash. I talk about, I don't know what video it's in, but I talk about going to apply and having like, you know, they have an open application day, and you show up and there's like 300 people there. That was at House of Blues. It was also really early in my bartending career, and I didn't get the job, unfortunately, but it was a very interesting learning experience. So yeah, always shoot for the top. You might not get it, but it's important to shoot for it. Okay. We get more of an Irish, so Ken's looking at more of an Irish pub sports bar type. Yeah, perfect, buddy. Perfect. Yes, and congrats on the retirement. My man. Yep. Let's see. Milo, or is it Milo? What age did you start bartending? I started at 22. And I am almost 42. So, almost 20 years. I took I took 2 years off in the middle of all that, like chasing real jobs, right? I had a year in real estate when the shit was booming around here, hated it, left. And then I had another year where I was in sales, like professional sales, and I did really well. And I was a top sales guy, but again, I just fucking hate it. It's not my thing, so I came back. So there you go, Ken. You're only 49. You're not old, man. That's rad. You got plenty of time to do some fun shit in your life. Not that anybody who retires doesn't, but you know, generally when you say the word retirement, people think 65 and older. So, zero interest in the club stuff. Yeah, I dealt with craziness while working at NYC Chelsea nightclub district. Some crazy shit. Lots of amateurs looking for something chill and enjoyable. Yep, yep. You're smart, Kenny. Keep along those lines of thinking, and you'll do really well. Let's see here. I feel like I missed a question back here. Let me turn this down. This is getting loud now. Wow, man, these things just fly by when you guys have lots of questions. It's great. Let's see here. Not that I don't want to spend time with you. I'm just saying it's crazy how fast it goes. Cheers, everybody. Evan, is that a real question? What's in a rum and coke? I can't tell if you're joking. Because that's it, buddy. It's self-explanatory. Let's see here. Fanger, more carbonate and alcohol is 8% per volume, up 14%. Carbonate is the way you personally drink it. It can definitely feel good fast. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to read about that. Ken says also have interest in craft brew bars. They're very popular out here on Long Island. Yeah. One of my not too long ago videos, Ken, you should go check out and see if Shake can pull it up and put a link to it about working in tap houses, right? It's one of the better starting positions. Yeah, thanks, Shake. It's one of the better first jobs as a bartender because it's a cool environment, right? And it's fun stuff, and it's pretty simple. There's not a whole lot to it. So anyway, I talk about like what you should kind of know going into it, and it's basically just comes down to being a little bit savvy about the type of beers that they make and serve, and any of the other crafts or micros that are in your area. Bashing Close, what's up? How are you, buddy? Good to see you again. Right? Again? Yeah. Let's see. Let's back up a little bit. Brilliance of the NYPD pension. Hey, that's great. Even if it's something, man. My dad was career military. He retired as a colonel in the Air Force, and that's what kept him alive through the recession of 2008. Because he's a dentist now, or was. He actually sold his practice. He's an older guy now. My dad's 73, 72, 73. And during the recession, because he lived in a small town up in Oregon during the 2008, 9, 10 times, he was hurting for business. So that was the only thing that kept him alive. So be grateful for that pension, even though it might not be the same as a Fortune 500 CEO schmuck. It's still consistent income that'll be coming that you can count on. So that's you're stoked. Shake cocktails. Okay, he's helping you guys out. Let's see. Milo Glorious. I'm 19 at the moment, just looking for advice on bartending. Dig into my videos, buddy. Got all kinds of good stuff in there to help you get started. Check out some of these that Shaker's linking to, about getting started and whatnot. Check out the playlists that I have that kind of sequentially put stuff together for you. You can search playlists on my videos on the channel, so have a look at those. Let's see here. Mr. Kenny Conway, Lady Stepansky, have you ever done any traveling bartending in other countries? No, I have not, but I actually conversed with a guy who's from Australia who runs a website. I can't remember what it is right now. I'm sorry, I forgot. His name's Tom Blake, I believe. Tom Blake. I think his name's Tom Blake. Tom is a guy from Australia who's building a brand around travel bartending. So I'm actually he's on my list of videos that I want to do about that kind of niche within bartending. And it's something if you're kind of a young single person that doesn't have too many real life responsibilities, or you're not married, you don't have kids or anything like that, then it's cool to do. And a really easy way to do it is on you can do it like cruise ships is a real simple way to plug in and do it, or just working on expanding your network and trying to get overseas. Some countries are easier than others. Obviously, you need to speak the language. So whatever your options are within that capacity should give you kind of some direction. Juan Joe, same as Jack and Coke, but take the Jack out and it's rum in it. Oh, you guys are goofing off here. Evan, Sylvia, someone came. Wait. These things keep popping up. Someone came in the other day and asked for a drink on the rocks. I looked behind the bar for 20 minutes, found no rocks, even a pebble. What's up with that? Evan is a wise guy. All right, I see what you got going on. Mr. Chuckle. I don't know, man. You gotta ask your boss. Tell him what's up. Fucking give me some rocks. We need some round ones, nice round, smooth ones for the ladies, and then we need some big, chunky, cindery ones for the tough guys. Katie Reins. Do you think males or females make more as bartenders? Just a question for fun. I'm gonna go out on a limb. It's generally, my experience has been that if you work with attractive, let me qualify by saying that anytime I'm working with attractive females, we just happen to make a little more money. Now, it could just be that I'm happy that they're there and I'm kicking ass more that day, but a lot of times it seems that your attractive females tend to get better tips, generally from the guys. Now, it's not always that way, but I have noticed that sometimes. But I don't think that's going to be a hard line anywhere. I think if you're good at your job, then it's going to be negligible in the difference. There you go, Shake. Thank you for the Tap House Bartending link. So check that out, Mr. Ken Conway. Henry McLaurin, have an interest in doing private bartending event. Do you have any pointers on getting that started or booking events? Yes, Henry, check that playlist that Shake linked right below your comment on how to become a bartender playlist. And the video specifically, private bartending in 48 hours, is how to get started on that. Danny Flores, look how time and alcohol takes a toll on you. Looked young and still looking good, though. Oh, you mean me? Oh, thanks, Danny. I don't even drink that much. That's just time. And my early videos were like really low quality, so you couldn't really see me. And back in the day, I used to like dye my hair and shit. And now I just let the grays flow. So it was more of I stopped trying to put on a false front of what I looked like. But I'll take that as a comment. Thank you. It's all good, Kenny. It's all good. Yeah, let's get some river rocks. So smooth. Right on. Cool, team. We're already on the 10-minute countdown. Ish. So running short on time. If there's any other questions that are pressing, make sure to get those in there. And let me get back up here and make sure I didn't miss any questions. I think I got everybody here. Irish Pub, got that one. Let's see, what else do we got? Gentleman Jack, question about becoming. Stevie Funk Kelly, we got you. All right, cool. I think we got everybody. Right on. Caught up team. team. Mitchell. Yep. All right. What else we got down here? Danny, what's your favorite drink to make yourself? Like for myself? Margaritas. I'm a margarita guy. Probably because of my job and where I work. But I just like margis and the way I make them. Lots of citrus, lemon, lime, orange, little tequila. No orange liqueur. I don't like the orange liqueur. Shake it, and then voila, there you go. Or an old fashioned. I've been throwing that one out a lot lately. And really, what I drink most of the time is just light lagers and pilsners. Just because the drinks that I make, they're delicious, and so I'll slam through them really quickly. And so you get fucking hammered. Cheers, PBR can. You, there you go, Taylor. Not a girl. PBR. It's so funny, like coming from Oregon, PBR is like so popular. It's popular everywhere. And like, no offense, but PBR tastes like not that good, right? I know it's cheap and you get a good deal, but I don't know. I think there's other cheap beers I'd rather drink. But it's like cool. It's funny. It always has been in the kind of hipster areas of the world, but it's especially so much now. Not saying anything bad about you, Miss Richards. Miss Richardson. Taylor. But yeah. Cheers, girl. Yeah, PBR or Keystone. I like taste test side by side. I prefer Keystone. Shit, you know. My like when I first moved to California, I probably shouldn't say this. This is probably gonna give me trouble. I know a guy when he first moved to another area from where he was from. He used to hang out with his little brother's friends all the time, and they used to have him because they were just a couple years younger than him, and he was like 22, and so they were like 19, 20. And they used to get him to just go buy Keystone all the time, and they lived on that shit. Keystone Lights, Keystone Ice, and I might have hung out with them when they would have some of that stuff, and it wasn't too bad. It wasn't excellent, but it wasn't too bad. I don't know. I need to try. PBR tastes like trash, Danny Flores says. Yling Ling and Tecate is way better. Yeah, I like the Mexican lagers. They're like light and cheap, but for some reason they don't taste like weird. The weird, like the super cheap American lagers and pilsners just taste weird. I don't know what it is. There's something in there that I think some people like. That's why they're popular. But for me, it's just like, ugh, makes it taste. I don't know. It's not my favorite. I think the worst beer I've ever had was the first one I drank whenever I got drunk was Rainier beer, which I think is from Washington. And Rainier is atrocious. It's so bad. It's like Schlitz. You ever had Schlitz beer? Schlitz malt liquor? Fucking horrible. I was 15 years old. I was at a snowboard contest with my buddy, and we each had a tall boy and a half. We got 3 tall boys that we had gotten. Some of these older dudes who were like older snowboarder dudes at the contest. They were staying at the same hotel as us, and we went and knocked on their door like, hey, can you guys buy us some beers? And all we had was like $7 or something, and these were like $2 each for the cans. So we got 3 Rainier tall boys, and we each had 1.5. And I remember, you know when you first start drinking beer, how it tastes like shit? And if you can imagine drinking your first beer that's really cheap shit beer, I mean, it was like, made me gag. I don't know how I got it down. But 1.5 tall boys, and I was hammered, completely blacked out. I don't know how. I mean, I do know how. I was at 15, I was, let's see, 5'4" or 5'5" maybe, and like barely over 100 pounds, and with zero tolerance. And since I was riding all day, I probably had zero water. So I like blacked out and apparently was like doing backflips. There was two beds in the room, and I was doing backflips from one to the other, and ate shit a couple times, but I stuck a couple of them too. Yeah. So anyway, good fun. First time getting drunk. Let's see here. It's not that bad. I know, Taylor. I'm messing with you. Agreed. Gray looks distinguished. 007 Bond. James Bond. What? Thank you. Thank you. Cheap beer is cheap beer. We'll drink that. Keystones, 10 bucks for 50 cans. Yeah. And Tecate Mexican beer smells like skunk to me. Yeah, it's just personal preference, right? Like Rolling Rock, like Taylor's saying, like the skunky kind of stuff. I prefer that over the like the tinny American lagers. Like I don't have a problem with the kind of the skunkies. So it's just personal preference. Here's another Hams. Yes. There's another classic shit ass beer. Hams, Schlitz. When's the last time you had a 40? That was back in my high school days. We used to drink 40s, OE, and all that kind of, because we were idiot kids, like listening to NWA and bullshit, fucking thinking we were thugs up in the mountains of Oregon. Big ass saggy pants and fucking lowrider cars and just hoods, little hoodlum, hood rat bastard, you know, little shits. We were skaters. I was a little skater guy. I was a skater in high school. That was my crew. Skaters and snowboarders. When's the last time you had a 40? Yeah, that was probably, it's probably been 25 years, Danny, since I've had a 40. Proud to say. O'Doul's rule. Old English at 100. St. Ides. Yeah, there you go. That was another one. Some Stides. Give me some Stides. Give me a 40 of Stides. Is any IPAs you like? I feel like I just can't get on board with IPA. You know what, Taylor? IPAs are a tough one that I joke that I don't have an advanced enough palate to appreciate them. Although one that's pretty good is kind of fruity, and some people might not like it. But the Latitude 33 Blood Orange IPA is pretty damn good. I don't like IPAs, but I could drink those. It's very orangey, so if you don't like that kind of fruit flavor, it's not so much as like a Widmeyer or Widmeyer flavored beer, but it's pretty orangey. And then if you want to kind of come down a notch on the orange flavor from that, but still have a pretty good IPA, Stone makes a Tangerine Express that's pretty good too. So I like it because the fruit kind of distracts from the IPA, because like straight really strong IPAs taste like flowers to me. That super hoppy taste, it tastes like I'm drinking flowers. So, and I know it's because I don't appreciate, or I don't have an advanced enough palate. But there you go. Try that one, Taylor. Latitude 33. Latitude 33. What the hell did I just call? I just said it and fucking lose my mind. Blood Orange IPA. And yeah, last call on questions, guys. Dragon's Milk is a great beer to have with burgers or nice medium rare steak. Sounds like a stout, Shake. Is that a stout? So let's see here. And Jaweezy 24-100. Ever tried any beer brewed in Hawaii? I have. There's a couple Hawaiian beers out here. I don't remember their labels, but they're pretty good. Nothing that has left a substantial impact on my memory that would go like, damn, that was the best beer I've ever had. But when was the last time you had Four Loko? I don't even know what that means, Dion. You had a Four Loko? See, I'm not hip to the language with you kids anymore. I don't even know what you're talking about. Zima. Kenny throwing out some Zima. Dude, we used to rock Zima. I didn't drink Zima, but like when I was in high school, the girls loved that shit. They were all about it. That was revolutionary back then. No, that's 20, 25 years ago plus. Saturday actually. Green apple tastes like Jolly Rancher. Pucker up a blackberry juice tonight. Yep. See, everybody. It's funny. Everybody likes to act tough, but everybody has their sweet tooth stuff. You know what I like? You want me to tell you my guilty pleasure? Here, can you take my man card drink that I like? Or Smirnoff Ice. I like getting iced to a certain extent, not excessively. But Smirnoff Ice, it tastes like a squirt. Like I fucking love squirt. That's delicious. It's funny. So everybody loves to act like they're tough and it's like I don't drink that shit. Like yeah, fucking bullshit. You have some weird, sweet, girly thing that everybody likes or that you like. So just don't be afraid to admit it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Let's see. Rolling Rock is shit. Did Taylor throw that out again, or am I back too far? Oh, no, I'm back here. Okay, where are we at? I'm scrolling the wrong damn way. Let's see here. Concept of flavored beers. Stevie Funk Kelly. So, like, generally with the micros, it's actually brewed with certain stuff, and it gives it a flavor characteristics. That's what I was talking about. Like the craft beer people, they brew with all kinds of crazy shit, including like cereal. I mean, you have no idea. Um, but then there's also kind of a long time ago, which I was talking about with like the Widmer. I don't remember what that brewery is called. Widmer? It's from Oregon. But they used to take their beers and then they would flavor it after the fact, and it didn't work very well. They had these wheat beers that they would make, and they would be like raspberry and blueberry. They tried to make them all fruity, and just didn't work. I think it was their attempt to bring women to the craft brewing scene, but it was just way too early, and nobody really caught on to it. Yeah, IPAs are much better than domestic craft. That's just a quality beer, so even I would concede that. Taylor says fresh squeezed IPA Deschutes, kind of like they have to be fruity. Deschutes, that's from my hometown. Deschutes Brewery, it's in Bend, Oregon. That's where I'm from. They have, if you're ever up there, you can go to the actual brewery restaurant. It is really good. They got a bunch of good beers, and their food is fantastic. So if you're ever in Bend, Oregon, go to the Deschutes Brewery Brew House, Brew House, right in downtown on the west side. I want to quit my job and become a bartender because I get paid so little as a barback, and they won't let me learn. Dimas, any advice? Yeah, buddy, start looking for another job somewhere else. I mean, that's really kind of it. If they're not moving up, then start throwing out the resumes for other places and get the hell on. Henry McLaren have toured. There we go. Stone Brewery Company. They're an SD. They're my favorite. Yeah. McLaren. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Henry. Yeah, if you guys are ever in San Diego, go to the Stone. It's out in Escondido, which is like North County. And they do tours, like if you're really into that kind of stuff. But they just have like a really cool property and a phenomenal menu with food and all their beers. So worth a shot if you guys are ever in San Diego. Yeah, it's a stout. All right, cool shake. Angry Orchard, nice floral cider. Yep, Smirnoff Ice is damn good. Smirnoff Ice will smack you in the face after 3. It will. That shit's strong. I know I'm way behind on you guys' comments here. We'll drink the whole variety pack. I got a variety pack shake. That's funny you say that on Christmas, because anytime we do Christmas, like with my in-laws, they're party animals, and so everybody's like icing everybody, and so I got the full variety pack, which had like the Bellini one, which is like peach, had the orange one, and the green apple one, and they're all pretty damn good. But I was icing people with the peach, orange, and apple ones, and then I basically kept the regular ones for me, icing myself. Rude Vet, yeah, what's up, Rude Vet? How about oyster shots? Have you tried them or ever made them? How about an episode making some in the future? Ooh, that's a good idea. Uh, that's a that's a really difficult one because you have to have like a seafood place to do that. Or I wouldn't be buying or drinking those unless I was at a seafood place. Not really an oyster guy because like to me as a surfer, it just tastes like I'm drinking a shot of salt water, and I'm not like a um, I'm not a big salt guy in my food and stuff. I'm more of a pepper spicy guy. So excessively salty shit isn't my thing. And although I do like mussels, so I have not ever made them. I have had them. There are some places around here that make some really good brunch oyster shooters, but they're dangerous. I'd rather eat the oyster. They're pretty good actually. Shake. Noelle Smith says she can't do plain beer. It's gross. Yeah. Taylor went to the one in Portland 2 weeks ago. Oh, rad. Got a hat. Food was crazy good. Yeah, super good. I didn't know they had one in Portland, although I'm not surprised. Kenway, you're cool. Thanks for the chat. Be safe. Good night. Yeah, buddy. You're welcome. Yeah, last call, everyone. Any last questions? Get them in now. I'm on my last sip, and I have dinner ready upstairs, so it's time to go. Every week, Ken, come back and visit us. Same place, same time. Make sure you follow me on all the social media platforms at BartendingPro, Twitter, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Um, YouTube is my favorite, and new videos will be coming out soon. As soon as I finish the school shit, which is great, I'm gonna have a lot of good stuff coming for you guys. But in the meantime, we'll be doing these every week, same place, 7 o'clock, Standard Pacific, California Coast time. Shake's got some links on there. If you're a new viewer, make sure you subscribe so you get notifications anytime I do these or post new videos. And if you want to support directly, you can support over at patreon.com/bartendingpro. But really, just showing up and being a viewer, you're supporting me. So thank you very much, you guys. Appreciate it. And I think with that, we will shall about call it. Noah says, I believe it acquired taste for tea and coffee, but I don't have quite acquired the taste for plain beer. You'll get there, girl. You'll get there. It's one of those things that I don't know when it happened, because I remember the first few times I had beer, it was terrible. I hated it. It's disgusting, partially because it was shit beer, but it's just one of those things that all of a sudden you'll I think it happens in summer, right? You've tried a few times, not that good, and then you're like sitting in summertime and it's just hot as shit, and you have like an ice cold beer that you just crack or open of some like decent quality, not like Schlitz or Hams or PBR. Then it it just all of a sudden is like, fuck, that is delicious, so delicious. So it's, I don't want to say keep on it, keep trying, but it's okay to not like beer. You don't have to like beer, Noel. There's nothing wrong with not drinking. I think the more that we don't drink, the better, actually. Danny Flores, real quick, what's your favorite liquor drink? Wait, what's your favorite liquor to drink neat? Tequila or whiskey, like bourbon? Yeah, I know this cool shit, Taylor. We're almost done, girl. We'll get there soon. Yeah, and after, if you miss this, these all post to the profile on Bartending Pro, so you can rewatch these. That's another thing. As a subscriber, you will get notifications when they post, so they'll be sent automatically to your inbox. Fireblend Ice just jumped in to say hi. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, don't forget to click the little bell underneath to get alerts for new videos and that type of shit. I don't even mess around. I don't even know. That's why Shake's here, to keep me on point with all that stuff. It's an acquired taste, Jay Weezy says. Got stouts ported because I drink PBR all day. All right. Well, good. Get on you, Miss Richardson. and I'll stick with my skunky green beers, and we'll keep them all in business. Jason, can you forward the email I sent you to Shake? I will. Absolutely, Noah. Gotcha. MGD bottles, ice cold for me. Cool. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate it. Love y'all. Appreciate the support. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out, being a supporter of the show. Appreciate it. And I will